Hey there, John Deere owners. Looking at a John Deere L111, and was riding it the other day, mowing away, and all of a sudden the mower just up and stopped. The engine was running, but the transmission wasn't engaging. Couldn't figure out why. Of course, went on YouTube like most people, started digging around, and thought maybe initially it was some kind of a transmission problem. Of course, if you are familiar at all, you probably know about the keys in your tires. If you don't have the key pin there, then the master pin, and then they'll just spin and run free. My cat's come over to say hello here, but hey cat. But so anyway, I looked all the videos and pouted around a little bit. Took off the transmission and opened it up, and it looked like clean as glass. It was absolutely beautiful inside of it. I thought maybe it had a pump problem, but after looking at the gears and how clean the transmission fluid was, it's actually I didn't think it could be that. So I've been scratching my head for the last couple of days trying to think about it. And so I went back, and I remember when the engine was running and the transmission just stopped, the pedal seemed to have a little more free play than it did before. And after thinking about it, looking at it, I finally got underneath the thing again and looked a little bit closer. And this is what I discovered. So I bought this mower used, and I bought it from a guy who actually works for a John Deere dealership and does all the maintenance and stuff. Again, the transmission oil was very, very clean. But I did notice when I was looking at it here, I don't know if you can even see it or not, but if you look all the way up there, there is a belt here. I'm wiggling it around. And this is the belt that drives the transmission. Well, oops, there's a shroud. But if you look up underneath there, there is another pulley, the tensioner pulley. I didn't notice it earlier, but that tensioner pulley, which is kind of that shiny spot right there, if you look, that belt is actually off on the inside tensioner pulley, which is right there. I don't even know if you can see it on the video or not, but that pulley was off. I didn't even notice it until just now. And so if you want to save yourself a hassle, which I wish somebody posted a video on that part of it, I think the belt's probably just off. I need to put my transmission cover back on, reseal it, and put everything back together. So hopefully this helps out. So check to make sure your belt is on before you do all this other super cool stuff. On the upside, I did learn how to take off my wheels and my transmission and how to rebuild a whole bunch of cool stuff that I hopefully never ever use. All right, have a good day, guys. Good luck on your John Deere L111. Have a good day. This is the caps part list that I got from Amazon, I think it was. So here you have the pulley. You can see it's pretty trash. It got burn marks, everything else on it, just from rubbing. You tell I chipped it trying to get it out. A little bit of tough stuff getting it out of there, but you can see that's what the problem is. That was my original problem that I took a while to figure out. So if your engine's running and your mower's not cutting, this could be it. So here we are. So I just used my breaker bar here. And basically, you just, see here, you just take the socket on there and you crank it. And it'll kind of, a little bit of free play from the spring. You can see all that. It'll go all the way back, and then once you get to the other end, it'll just nicely come off, and it'll be off in no time. First one's already off, looks like this. This one's pretty clean, it's all right. The other one's one that's destroyed, so. All right. So you can kind of see what you're looking at. This one here, take the deck off to get to it. There's other videos out there that do a better job of taking the deck off and showing that. You see that spindle, it's got a bunch of really rough stuff on it. But anyway, this is a coastal lawnmower, so I've been working on it for a while. I've only got parts in, I got the deck off. I'm over there now cleaning it up. I got I sanded it down and used a deal to get it painted and get it all cleaned up. So we're back at it. I'll show you what we get when we take it off. Okay, well here we are again. I finally figured out the problem. I've been working on this thing for a while, trying to figure out what the problems are. I got my parts in here just the other day, and you can see one's kind of thick. That's one that's messed up, and one's kind of thin, and those parts are right up in here. So there's the spindles just before I took them off, and they came off pretty easily. You just had to take the tension out with a socket and a breaker bar. And there's a breaker bar there. I did have to buy some heavier duty sockets. I bought them from Amazon. They're a few bucks a piece, came in rather quickly, but they did not break when I went to take the bolts off. Now, the other problem I encountered was that it was very rusty, and I'd watch other videos and having a hard time stripping out the bolts or breaking them off. Well, on both sides, I broke off 3 bolts and ended up having to drill out the other 2. And I basically started with a small pilot hole and went to a bigger bit and add a little bit of oil just to keep the bit cool.
drilled them out, and finally was able to take them off fairly easily. It took an extra probably 10-15 minutes each. And then I used an angle grinder with an abrasive attachment to it, and it actually did a really good job. It's like sandpaper, kind of layered. I'll show a picture in a video here in a second. And it did a really good job. So I basically went over the entire deck, cleaned it all off, and got it looking shiny and nice again, and then I painted it.
So here I am, day 27 of the John Deere lawnmower rebuild. I took a angle grinder and with a sanding disc on it and sanded it all the way down, put a couple coats of Rust-Oleum, trying to get it brought back just so where I could hose it off and keep it clean. I got most of the pits and the rust out of it, and there was a ton. It's like I say, it's a coastal mower, so it had those issues. I wasn't trying to make it look pretty, I was just trying to get to where I could clean it. I did go and take the back side here, and if you can see that or not, but I got it all kind of cleaned up and ready to go. Got it all sanded down, got the rust all removed. Now I'm ready to put it back on the spindles and get the thing ready to mow again. All right, one little quick snippet here too. I would also like to let you know too that I bought these off of Amazon. I believe it was, or eBay, one of the two, I forget, I'll let you know later. But if you go to put these things, the blades on, I don't know if they missed them or they just weren't in there, but I did have to take the old bolts to hold the blades on from the old blades and put them on the new ones. I also am going to add one little drop of its thread blocker. It's the green, and just one drop just to kind of hold the bolts in when I put the housings back on. All right. Okay, so here we are. These are the old spindles. You can see that I knocked off. I mean, I stripped out all four. Well, I actually stripped out 3 on each of them, and then had to go and drill out the 4th, and trying to bend the deck and all that's complicated. These new ones are built a little bit better, and you'll see that they actually have a zert on them where you can put some grease in. So I'm gonna start out putting some grease in. A little tip is just to make sure when you install them on the deck, make sure you put the zert in some manner to where you can easily access it, like facing the blade, you know, the blade opening there for the grass chute, or some other way on the side where you can easily access it so that you can lift it up easily and toss a little grease in there maybe once a season or so. All right, good luck.
Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed the video. Here's a parts list here. I did to buy a couple of hardened sockets to actually make the thing work because they're really strong. I busted 3 sockets, taken it out. You can see the rebuild kits that I got here, the different belts and pulley systems for the different parts of the tractor. And then again here, this is the big deal here. I had basically a rebuild for the blades and the spindles. And again, I had to use the bolts from the original blades. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Thanks a lot.